Anyone else? Who wants to start?
Via is Augie's role model.
And
What do you think, Bendy?
and what prompt or what subject or topic or issue does that address?
What's your evidence? My evidence. Via said, "Come on, Augie, let's go trick or treating. I'll give you all my candy." Shoot, and then he went trick or treating. We haven't heard from you yet, Felicity. What do you think
What do you think about what?
about your paper? What do you think about Via being Augie's role model?
I think that Via is a good role model for Augie because she is telling him that he should stay in school and not let those kids bother him.
I think Mom is Augie's role model.
I disagree with all three of you. I think it is. One reason is how people treat him with all of his disorders.
I agree with Brian.
Why?
Because people's disorders shouldn't make you different. Do you agree?
I agree with Cooper and Brian because if you have a disorder, then people shouldn't treat you differently because it doesn't matter about the looks, it matters about the inside, the personality.
The story's been based on how Augie and his disorders, how his life's going, and how people look at him.
I agree with Brian. Because he's right.
We haven't heard from you yet, Caitlin.
I'm going to step in here. Normally I won't step in, but sometimes when I see us going off topic or not really knowing where to go next, I might step in. You're really talking about theme, correct? Okay. So, what thoughts do you have about the main theme? What do you feel that main theme is in Wonder? Be able to share what you have prepared in advance.
I agree with Brian because people don't need to judge people about their disorders. I agree. I would like to add to that and say that Augie has disorders and he can't do as much as other people can. And yeah.
I disagree with you, Jaden, because yesterday or the day before, it was talking about people with disorders can do the same things with people that are normal.
But I agree with Brian because we did talk about that yesterday, the day before, and also we haven't heard from you, Alexa.
Yeah, but also, I disagree with both of you because, yesterday, Augie can't smile right, like he literally is to smile, because he have to stay down in here, so he can't smile. And it's hard for him to chew, and he could choke on his own saliva.
He can smile, but it's just the reason why we smile.
I agree with Brian because He can smile, but it doesn't look like a smile. Straight. And it wasn't her
Yeah, so it's
either, or any of you guys.
Hey, stop.
Caleb.
What did you get, Caleb? Okay, my idea is similar to yours in that a person's character matters, how you act is important.
Okay. Very good. I'm
I
glad
agree with Caleb because that makes sense.
Okay, I'm glad that, Caleb, that you stepped in and used your connection statements to get into the conversation, because you had something really valuable to add. Okay, we're going to switch roles here, but before we move, because we only had 7 minutes this time, we'll do much longer ones and many more of these throughout the year. But one thing I want to do before we switch is let's evaluate what went well in this first discussion.
What went well was most of us here, if we all kept on agreeing and just
Okay, you kept connecting.
with each other, and we were doing great.
Good.
On topic.
You were on topic, yes, that's great. Outside circle, could you hear inside circle? Sort of. Okay, so we need the outside circle that comes in needs to be aware that speaking more loudly
speak loud like that.
And Paige needed to share.
Yes, and what are ways that we can do that again? Tally?
What do you think?
Yeah, drawing them in, inviting them in.
I
Good.
tried doing that, but nobody would come in.
Okay,
Yeah,
sometimes
exactly.
sometimes we don't allow the wait time, right? And sometimes we ask and then we start talking again. So we need to make sure that we let them speak. Good. Colin, did you have another thing that you wanted to add? Okay, so quietly switch roles. Remember the inside circle that's going outside? Remember, you do not speak during this session.
Yeah, don't speak.
Did we get to all of our questions?
Not really.
No, we didn't. We started, one thing that I would like to, listen up, guys. Yep, walk down over there. Or, yeah, just sit here. One thing that I would like this group to be aware of, our first round started with some details. We didn't really start out with our main topics that we want to discuss, our main issues. So that might be a really good place for someone to pick up a leadership role and say, how about we talk about this? Okay? All right, go ahead.
I thought the main thing was that your character matters because you can't get judged by your own character, and if people do, I get judged by my character, and it would go down.
I agree with Draven, because people, even though you don't want them to judge, they're just going to keep on judging you. So you just have to either ignore it or tell them to stop. I would say just ignore it, just don't let them control you.
I agree with Draven and Caleb because you shouldn't let people take power over you. I agree with Caleb because, like I was gonna say, but it didn't go down well because when people were punching, when people were talking about my own character at my old school, I punched them, and this was in 3rd grade, and I punched him, and I got suspended for 3 days. It wasn't fun. 3 days of punishment.
I agree with Caleb, Brianna, and Draven, and it's because people really shouldn't judge you right when they don't even know you, and I've heard that a lot, so.
Do you all agree that the main theme is that people shouldn't judge you?
Yes, I agree with Mrs. Hartley.
But I see it in a different way because this whole, the first whole part that we've been talking about and reading, it's usually about Augie surviving without this whole everyone revolving around him and trying to keep him safe in his life. Now he's growing up and doesn't need his family.
I have one more thing.
I agree with that but that's basically saying it's basically his character.
So you connect character with Augie growing up and the importance of character in his growing up years?
I agree with both Colin and Draven. Yet we haven't heard from Talia or.
What do you guys think? So I'd like to agree with Caleb, Colin, Draven, Brianna, because I think that character does matter, yet at the same time, sometimes it doesn't because, like, I agree with that because it depends on where you're at. And the main conflict is Augie's friendship because he heard Julian was Augie's best friend, and then he heard Julian talking bad about him. I disagree with Draven. Excuse me, it was Jacqueline. Because at first, Christopher and Augie were best friends, and then they like stopped, and then what's his name? Augie and Jack Will were friends, and then Julian and Jack Will and the other people were talking behind Augie's back about him.
I would like to agree yet disagree with you, Drew. Christopher and Augie did not stop being friends. They were still friends. They still came. Christopher still came to Augie's birthday. Still hanging out when they had a chance. And Wyatt, you haven't heard from you yet.
What do you think, Wyatt?
I have the conflict that I would like to discuss. That Augie's family is starting to change and fall apart, and his friends are starting to talk bad about him. And
I agree with Madison. Wyatt, Alexa, what's your perspective
On this whole situation.
Well, I think the main conflict is about all these friendships and because everyone was like his best friend talking bad about him, and other things that it was all set up by Mr. Dishman. I sort of agree, yet at the same time I don't agree because I think the main conflict is just school in general because he does have friends at school, but but Jack, he says that was his best friend, yet he was talking bad about him behind his back. I agree with Talia because Jack did say that he would have killed himself if he had a face like that, and Jack Will did started sticking up for him on the tour, and there's many things that Jack Will helped with, but until Augie heard that Jack Will would have killed himself if he had those kind of problems, it just messed up everything. I agree with Colin, and what the important part of my perspective, I thought, is like about the book is so everyone can see what the real story is, because Via and Augie tell the same story, and I wonder if Summer is going to tell the same story. I'd like to add to that and say that that the perspective is really important, but I also think that each person's perspective is different and they each see it in a different way. Yeah, I agree with Talia because Via did start talking about different fruits at lunch, your friends changing, and different things than just what Augie was talking about.
I agree with Colin because it's true. She's just trying to explain more about what Augie didn't explain about and how he's changed a little bit.
And go ahead.
I agree with Maddie, and because the stories are just a little bit different, but they're both, if you listen a little bit better, they're both basically telling the same thing.
Knowing different perspectives, does that help us more fully understand Augie? Yes. Okay, guys, you did a fabulous job. What are some good things that the inner circle did this time? Caleb?
Everyone is loud.
Everyone was loud enough. Good. Frank? Included everyone, yeah. Cooper? Okay, so we still need to speak up. Draven?
Everybody but Wyatt Julian.
Wyatt did you? We're all going to grow from this.
He didn't say
Okay.
a word.
What we're going to do when you get back, actually after lunch, we are going to reflect on what you've learned from this discussion in addition to our vocabulary test. Okay, good job, guys.